So I just wanted to talk again about Democrats because they drive me nuts, and I think this is going to be a series. Democrats all over the place are praising George W. Bush, and they're saying, oh, I appreciate George Bush so much now because Trump is a monster. Rah. I was a child when George Bush was first elected, and I was a teenager when he was reelected. I knew as a literal child that George Bush was a maniac. He was a monster. He was an idiot. I knew that Iraq was a horrible idea as a child. I knew that. This person who had not been educated about politics in full, because I was a child and couldn't comprehend all those concepts yet, I knew all that back then. Now, all of a sudden, all these older people are like, well, the younger children who are kids now don't understand that George Bush wasn't that bad. Nah. No, honey, don't. Sit down. Sit down. Bill Maher, sit down. Joanne Reed, sit down. Stop trying to make George Bush happen. He's not going to happen. Don't do that. Just because Trump bad does not mean Bush good. Bush is still a nutcase. Trump is still a nutcase. We're allowed to still think in nuance and still understand Trump is a nutcase. He's a moron. He's the most unpopular president we've ever had so far. It's okay to say that and still say, Bush was also a maniac. He became deeply unpopular. He made horrendous decisions. He was a war criminal. He was a homophobe. He hated people who were not rich, insanely privileged white men. It's okay to be able to say both those things. Both those things can be true. Just because Trump is bad doesn't mean Bush is good. Or that just because Trump is bad, that all Republicans are somehow good now. They put on a nice suit and they talk in flowery language, so that means they're nice. No. Pence is still an evil human being. Bush was still an evil human being. Scott Walker is an evil human being. Paul Ryan is an evil human being. They stand for horrendous things. War, taking things away from the poor, programs that they need, propping up rich people, giving them everything that they want and more. Those people are still evil, while Trump is evil. Trump is the Republican id. He is just saying everything that these guys have always said, but in a more blunt way. That's all Trump is doing. He's not doing anything different. He's not much different than these guys are. So just because he's acting like a monster outwardly and being blunt about it, now all of a sudden you're like, oh my God. If you're a Democrat and you're praising Bush, get out. Go away. I am able to still bash on Bush as much as I did when I was a child. And I'm an adult now, and I'm still able to understand that Bush was horrible. He was horrible back then. I understand he's still horrible. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. When you say, no, we respect Bush because he said all these horrible things that Trump is saying, but in flowery language that I'm comfortable with. That's exactly what you're saying. Trump is the Republican id. He agrees with everything the Republicans do, pretty much, except he's just more blunt about it. He's more in your face. And the Republicans did it behind a curtain. And we understand now. We've all seen behind the curtain. Trump is ripping that curtain away and showing you what's really going on more in your face. And you're not comfortable with it. You shouldn't be comfortable with it when it's any other Republican either. So it's disingenuous and it's ignorant to say that Bush is so much better than Trump when he's not. He's not. He's just as evil. He just is more slimy and careful. All the Republicans are more slimy and careful versus Trump. Trump just doesn't have a filter. He just says whatever he wants, doesn't care that he is getting himself in trouble. He doesn't care. He doesn't have the awareness to think before he tweets, or he gets someone to tweet for him because he struggles to write coherently. So just because Trump doesn't have the awareness to think before he tweets or speaks doesn't mean that he's somehow different than all the other Republicans in history. He's not that different. He's just taking the mask off and showing you, this is what we've always been like, but we just hide in our suits and behind all our money. It's not that different, honestly. So please, if you're praising Bush and you're a Democrat, sit down, look in the mirror, do some self-reflection. Go out in the woods, be with nature, and figure yourself out, because it's really, really, really concerning behavior. So I just wanted to get that off my chest, and I'm sure I'll be back with another Democrat suck video, because they always suck. So come and find me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out my blog. I'll post links to everything in the description below, and comment with your thoughts. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.